Watchtower magazines online, and
Yes,
I had a quick question about something.
sure.
What's your name?
My name is Craig, and yours?
Okay, Christine.
Christine?
Yeah. So I
Okay.
I noticed certain expressions that I wasn't really familiar with in my background. Like one of them is called "great crowd of other sheep."
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to find that in the Bible and really couldn't. And it seems like it's putting together two different ideas, and then it kind of repeats that in the literature. I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
then I started noticing other ones too that they use repetitively in verses that with verses that are not really related to each other if you read them separately. Like for example, paradise earth. There's no expression paradise earth in the Bible. They use it many times repetitively. So I was just wondering about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go to your thought. First of all, in reference to the great crowd of other sheep.
Yeah.
Okay, so the term other sheep is mentioned in the Bible
Right. Mm-hmm.
as as well as the great crowd. Now, if you're wondering what it refers to, the Bible refers to two hopes for mankind. One of those hopes is limited to a very few individuals. The Bible mentions the number is 144,000 in the book of Revelation. Okay. Um, the other hope for the vast majority of mankind that put faith in Jesus and the ransom sacrifice and in Jehovah God Himself. Um, their hope is for everlasting life on a paradise earth. And what that is based on, well, all of Jehovah's Witnesses' beliefs are based on the Bible. So in Psalm 37, verse 29, it talks about that hope of everlasting life here on the earth. And that is in reference to the other sheep, also the great crowd. It's just two terms sometimes used together, but it refers to the same hope. And that hope is everlasting life here on a paradise earth. So where you see the term other sheep or great crowd, that is that earthly hope to enjoy life everlastingly here on the paradise earth. And there's several scriptures other than the one that I mentioned that out. For example, in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, it also talks about conditions that will exist uh, when the earth is restored to a paradise, which is after Armageddon. Okay, so those two terms, other sheep and a great crowd, that's what that refers to.
Right. I think it though that that would be an interpretation. Do you ever wonder why no other Christians have ever believed in this type of two class system?
Uh, Other than their understanding of the Bible or even being aware of what the Bible has to say in reference to an earthly hope. Um, as you may know, um, our ministry involves door to door and going out and speaking to people about the Bible. And many people are not aware of that, even some that uh, may go to church on a regular basis because it's not taught in many churches.
Actually, the idea of a restored earth, especially in connection with the millennium, is a very common teaching. and I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about the idea of some other class of Christians, kind of Christians that are not in the new covenant in particular, and not born again, and not adopted as God's child, and things like that. When you said two hopes, it explicitly talks about there's only one hope in Ephesians chapter 4. There's one body and one spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called, one Lord. You wouldn't say there was more than one Lord, right? One Lord, one faith, one baptism. So, and also Ephesians 4 is interesting because when Jesus talked about the other sheep who are not of his fold, it explains in Ephesians 4 who the two groups are. That it was the joining of the Jews and Gentiles.
Okay.
Or actually,
Okay.
let me see if that might be actually in Ephesians 2. Because I was looking at Ephesians 4 because I wanted to see that verse about one hope. But if you give me a second, it's really interesting how Ephesians puts it. I think it's chapter 2. Sorry for being a little off on that one. I'm just trying to get... Can you look at it with me?
Well, you caught me at a time when I was just heading out the door.
Okay.
To do our ministry. So
okay.
So
I found
I
I did find it. If you want to look at it later, that it's about how Christ has made the two groups into one. So that would be starting with verse 11 to about verse 18. Maybe you could look at it later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for talking about this. Some of the other expressions I noticed also, one really struck me was first century governing body. They didn't even have a governing body that was the spiritual leader until, let's see, I can't remember the exact year, maybe the 1970s. They had presidents who decided everything pretty much, like like Franz and Charles Russell, Rutherford. So how could there be a continuation, and they call it first century governing body, when it used to be the anointed that was the slave according to their history. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw that one in there too. First century governing body. That's they're trying to put a certain idea out there, I think some people actually think that the term governing body is in the Bible, but it really isn't.
It is.
The term governing body?
The first century governing body refers to the apostles that whenever there was a question that was brought out in the congregations, it was always solved, discussed by the first century governing body, which were originally the apostles.
Well, I wasn't
in the book of Acts.
I wasn't talking about their interpretation. I was talking about the term governing body is not in the Bible.
Okay.
So, did you think it was?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
You think the term governing body is in the Bible?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you might want to check that out because it's actually in the study notes of their study Bible, but that's not the inspired scripture. That's not the Bible. It's just their commentary, their view.
So it sounds like you have some background in Jehovah's Witnesses, as well as it sounds like you're an avid Bible reader yourself.
Yeah, I would say so. I love learning about religion. I have a friend who's a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My suggestion, because I'm sorry that my time is very limited.
Oh yeah, I understand.
But my suggestion is, if you're interested in talking more about these topics, these excellent questions that you brought up, I can take down your name and address, and I can have one of our family members, a husband and wife, or just one of our sisters give you a call back, and they will be more than happy to discuss these topics with you.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to have time later today, so I just thought I'd just make a quick call here when I had time. So,
I appreciate your call as well.
yeah, I
You know,
appreciate your kindness to me, being so nice. So,
not at all, not at
yeah.
all. But do you think that possibly you would like to have somebody give you a call back, or have somebody to stop by and discuss these concerns that you have?
Well, not really. I'm more interested in historic Christian doctrine basics that Christians have held for, centuries. I've reviewed the history of the organization. I don't find it particularly reliable, in the things they said that were from Jehovah that didn't come to pass. And that would be according to Jehovah's test of a prophet in Deuteronomy 18:20-22. So I really wouldn't want to take in their spiritual food on a regular basis or anything like that.
All right, and I understand
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
what I'm making reference to is just to get those questions answered.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel that I did an adequate job.
Oh, you did
To
great
be
on the
honest
spur of
with
the
you.
moment, It was the spur. I know it was on the spur of the moment, like someone coming to your door, Yeah. Well, you sound like a great guy. You sound like a nice guy, so I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
You guys
Oh,
have a great day.
oh, okay.
Okay. God bless you.
Right.
See ya.